Alright guys, let's all ask ourselves how we can make a better Deepwoken. A Deepwoken where overworld interactions actually mattered as a way to bring sub-communities in the game together to work towards an endless type of goal. I remember back then when RAG wanted to encourage more overworld experiences instead of having a majority of the game be locked into Chime. I feel with the recent additions of Battle Royale as well as the future editions of Conquest, we are taking a major step back in what we saw to be RAG's vision for the game. I thought the efforts of Verse 2 were supposed to be making overworld more appealing. Now there are some features that are added that helped with that, such as void walking, which I know a lot of you guys enjoy watching or even playing, although having some recent negative feedback by Eclipse. In my opinion, it has done more good than harm when it comes to the overall competitive experience, although unlocking the origin is a bit peculiar, but they have changed that since then, so you know, props up to them. So guys, let's get to the topic at hand. I'm here to present you guys the Deepwoken honor system, and no, this isn't a check to see if the player is doing good in school, although that would be very funny. The Deepwoken honor system is one that I came up with in which the player gains points for their guild by doing various tasks. Now before I get into this, I just want to say that this actually takes heavy inspiration from games I've played in the past, such as Arcane Odyssey as well as Realm of the Mad God. If you've seen or played any of those, you'll notice a striking similarity between my system and those games. Let's talk about the current system that's implemented into Deepwoken. The current system encourages monetary gain in the form of notes gain, while also kind of discouraging conflict with other guilds, as there isn't any huge appeal to notes to begin with. Guilds right now kind of act like a pseudo bank with nothing much going for them, other than to make progression significantly easier if you're already in a progressed guild base. With that being said, I think the flag capture system has tons to improve upon and tons of ways that it can just be made better overall. Right now, the simplest interaction that any player in a guild can have in the world is capture a flag, then pretty much just go AFK, which is kind of bad and a really boring system altogether. There's nothing really going for it. It really is a two-dimensional interaction between the player and the world. Like, it's not that good. But hey, we're better than that, right, Deepwoken devs? So let's take a step back and try to kind of go for a reimagined version of this guild feature and expand on it. Honor. So what is honor? Honor is a point system that's gained for your guild that can pretty much be accumulated in various ways. The honor system also comes in tiers. For the sake of the video, I'll refer to the tiers as 1 through 3. 1 being the entry-level fresh guild that you just made at first, and 3 being like Lancelot or a freshly house-banned guild named Chapter. Sorry, I just had to throw a little shade. Now let's use the current clan flag capturing feature as an example. Whenever you capture a flag, that will give you honor. Stealing capture flags from other guilds will give you honor from the respective guild. This will ideally scale with the honor tier difference between you and the guild you stole the flag from, meaning that if a tier 1 honor guild stole a flag from a tier 3 honor guild, they'd gain a whole lot more and lose a lot less if they were stolen. This is just to encourage competitive play as well as providing smaller guilds an easier time pushing for a higher tier. Also, this solves the issue of huge guilds completely overpowering smaller ones in terms of numbers. And finally, the final method of honor production would be by maintaining a capture flag, although you want this to be relatively gained in small numbers to prevent just AFKing and promote more warring and ganks in the overworld. When bounty hunting a member of another guild, you will gain honor for your respective guild. Bounty hunting members from a higher tier honor guild will net you more honor than bounty hunting those who belong to a lower tier. Again, this is to encourage skillful PvP, so players who have a small elite group can compete with those who just win in numbers. When it comes to the honor system, so bounty hunting members of other guilds will also earn you something called Valor coins. We'll get into that later in the video when I go over the honor system incentives. Bounty hunting is a good way for many players as well as solo players within guilds to kind of help out or even progress through the honor system, which you honestly don't see in many games. It can be done solo or in group if you prefer. Let's talk about PV honor. Environmental based honor will be referred to activities that are largely like PvE based, such as the most recent addition to the Diluvian mechanism, as well as Helm mode, completing layer 2, killing corrupted monsters or enchanted monsters. Again, I want to incorporate every type of player when it comes to the honor system, as I believe all types of players are valued, and every player interaction, whether that be with another player or the environment, should benefit from the honor system in some way, shape, or form. So yes, just playing the game normally will get your guild honor. Honor should also be gained after wiping your character. This can be measured with tasks you did for your guild before wiping. Tasks that come in the form form of weekly guild missions. Guild missions, just like how they sound, are missions for your guild as a whole. Something that every member in the guild can kind of work towards too. Completing guild missions will reward the player with Valor coins as well as a small boost in honor. This can range anywhere from PvE activities or PvP activities such as killing 300 players from a tier 2 honor guild, fishing up 1k fish over the course of a week, or even sinking 200 ships in a week. Something to get the group together to do tasks and earn sizable rewards off the weekly guild missions. The rewards and tasks should ultimately scale with the amount of members within the guild as well. That way, so bigger guilds don't have too huge of an advantage over people who just want to kind of chill with their friends and do stuff with their friends only. What are all these honor points meant for? Well, I know a lot of you guys might have guessed it by now. The guild leaderboards. For any type of point system, it's nice to incorporate a leaderboard so that the community can kind of track who's at the top. It encourages community interaction as well as some healthy competitiveness throughout all forms of activity within the game. For guilds, I like to think that everyone has a place when it comes to contributing to their guild in the game. At the end of every month, the top 50 guilds will be rewarded Valor coins depending on their placement, which can be spent on the Valor shop. That I've covered every aspect of the honor system, let me introduce you guys to the Valor shop. Now, with all this hard-earned Valor coins, what exactly are you meant to spend it on? On the Valor shop, of course. The Valor shop would consist of any material in the game and serve as a way for regular players to kind of accelerate progression or help out in a way. It can also house cosmetic-oriented items exclusive to the Valor shop, which could be interesting as it provides some certain exclusiveness. So instead of having a mod shop, we just kind of have like a guild-oriented Valor shop. It could be pretty fucking neat, I think. Well, guys, that's pretty much all for today's video. I hope the devs look into this idea and maybe add on to it or even expand on it. As for my viewers, I encourage you guys to give your thoughts and opinions on this possible idea of making it into the game in the comments down below. I welcome anyone who is willing to like generate discussion, as I like engaging with my viewers when it comes to these types of topics like this one. So, yeah, that's pretty much all for me. So peace and take care, guys.